6 months had passed since the destruction of the Zarian Empire. The Galactic Council chamber looked very different now. Half the seats were empty. Many species had withdrawn from the council after their governments collapsed. Others had been conquered by neighbors who managed to build working kinetic weapons. First, the galaxy was at war with itself. High Counselor This sat in her chair, looking older than her years. Her compound eyes were dim with exhaustion. The Hive worlds were safe only because they had quickly signed a protection treaty with humanity. Other species had not been so wise. The reptilian hegemony was gone. Ambassador Vextar's people had tried to build kinetic weapons using slave labor. The slaves had revolted, armed with stolen human rifles. The proud hegemony had fallen in 3 days. The warrior clans were fighting a civil war. Half of them wanted to ally with humans. The other half refused to admit that their energy weapons were obsolete. They were destroying each other while the galaxy burned around them. The crystal worlds had simply vanished. One day their star system was there. The next day it was empty space. Nobody knew if they had fled or been destroyed. Nobody wanted to find out. The session will now begin. High Counselor Thesis announced to the nearly empty chamber. Only 12 species remained in the council. The rest were dead, missing, or too busy fighting wars to attend meetings. Admiral Lieben entered the chamber. He was no longer the ignored human attach who had demonstrated a simple rifle months ago. Now he commanded the most powerful fleet in the galaxy. His ships patrolled the space lanes, keeping what little peace remained. Admiral Levices said formally, "Thank you for coming." Lieben took his seat in what had once been the smallest section of the chamber. Now it was the largest. Humanity had expanded to over 100 worlds while the rest of the galaxy tore itself apart. "How may I help the council?" Lee asked politely. "We need to discuss the current situation," Thesis replied. "The galaxy is in chaos. Species are destroying each other trying to acquire kinetic weapons. Trade has collapsed. Entire civilizations have fallen." "That's unfortunate," Lee said. "But how is it humanity's responsibility? You started this," accused Counselor Brix from the Mechanic Union. His cybernetic voice was harsh with static. "You introduced these terrible weapons to the galaxy." "We introduced nothing," Lee replied calmly. "We showed you our standard military rifle. You dismissed it as primitive. You restricted our expansion because you thought our weapons were ineffective. But you didn't tell us the truth," Brix protested. "We told you exactly what you asked to know," Lee said. "You asked about our small arms. We showed you our small arms. You didn't ask about our artillery, our missiles, or our naval weapons. Because we thought they would be equally primitive," Thesis said. "They are primitive," we agreed. "They're also effective." War Counselor Drex spoke from his seat. He was the only member of the warrior clans who still attended council meetings. The rest were too busy fighting each other. "My people are destroying themselves," he said quietly. "Clan fights clan for the secret of kinetic weapons. Brothers kill brothers over ammunition factories. Our warrior traditions mean nothing when bullets cut through our shields like air." "I'm sorry to hear that," Lee said, "but your people chose to fight. We didn't force them. You could have warned us," Drex accused. "Warned you of what?" Lee asked. "That energy shields don't stop physical objects. That's basic physics. Any first-year student knows that. But we didn't know. That's not our fault," Lee replied. "You spent centuries perfecting energy, weapons, and energy defenses. You never bothered to learn about kinetic weapons because you thought they were beneath you." High Counselor Thesis leaned forward. "What do you want from us?" "Admiral, why are you here?" "You asked me to come," Lee reminded her. "You said you wanted to discuss the situation. The situation is that you've destroyed galactic civilization." Lee's expression hardened. "We destroyed nothing. You did this to yourselves." He stood up and walked to the center of the chamber. 6 months ago, you all sat in this room and laughed at our weapons. You called them primitive. You said we were too dangerous to be allowed to expand because our military technology was so backward. You voted to restrict our growth. You decided that humans were not ready for civilized warfare. You treated us like children playing with dangerous toys." Lee picked up a datapad and read from it. Ambassador Vextar said, and I quote, "They are like children playing with dangerous toys." War Counselor Drex said, "My youngest cub could design better war machines." He looked around the nearly empty chamber. "Where are they now?" "Vextar's people are slaves to their former slaves. Drex's clans are extinct except for him." "We made a mistake," Thesis admitted. "We were wrong about your weapons. But that doesn't justify what happened next." "What happened next?" Lee asked. "You mean when the Zarian Empire tried to destroy our colonies? When they threatened to kill 50,000 innocent civilians? You could have negotiated." "We tried. War Master Krell gave us 7 days to abandon 3 worlds. He refused all attempts at negotiation. He wanted us gone, and he was willing to commit genocide to make it happen." Lee sat back down. "So we defended ourselves with the weapons you thought were too primitive to be dangerous. But then other species tried to copy your weapons," Brix said. "They started wars trying to get the technology." "That was their choice," Lee replied. We never shared our military technology. We never encouraged anyone to attack their neighbors. They did that themselves. Because they were afraid of you. They were afraid of being as helpless as the Zarian Empire, Lee corrected. They saw what happened to the galaxy's greatest military power when it faced kinetic weapons. They realized their own defenses were just as useless. Commander Park Yuri entered the chamber and handed Lee a datapad. He read it quickly and nodded. What was that? Thesis asked. A report from the Outer Rim. Lee replied. The pirate lords have declared war on the remaining merchant fleets. They're using captured energy weapons to attack freighters. Can you stop them? Why should we? You restricted our expansion. Remember, the Outer Rim is outside human space. Because people are dying. Lee looked at her for a long moment. People have been dying for 6 months. Where was the Galactic Council when the hegemony fell? Where were you when the Crystal Worlds disappeared? Where were you when the warrior clans started their civil war? We were trying to maintain order. You were hiding in your protected systems while the galaxy burned, Lee said bluntly. The only reason the hive worlds are safe is because you signed a protection treaty with us. Then help us restore order. Why? 6 months ago, you thought we were too primitive to be trusted with expansion rights. Now you want us to police the galaxy. High Counselor Thesis was quiet for a moment. When she spoke, her voice was tired. What do you want, Admiral? What will it take for humanity to help restore peace? Lee considered the question. First, all restrictions on human expansion are permanently lifted. Second, humanity gets a permanent seat on the Galactic Council with veto power over military decisions. Third, all remaining Council species sign non-aggression pacts with humanity, and in exchange, will patrol the space lanes, will stop the pirates and raiders, will prevent any more species from destroying themselves trying to build kinetic weapons. You want to be the galaxy's police force. We want to prevent more wars, Lee corrected. The galaxy has seen what happens when energy weapon civilizations try to fight kinetic weapon wars. It doesn't end well. Thesis looked around the chamber at the few remaining delegates. They all looked as tired as she felt. I call for a vote, she announced. All in favor of Admiral Lee's proposal. 12 hands, claws, and appendages rose. The vote was unanimous. Motion carried, Thesis said. Admiral Lee, the galaxy is yours to protect. Lee stood up and picked up his datapad. No, he said quietly, the galaxy belongs to everyone. We're just going to make sure it stays that way. He walked toward the exit, then stopped and turned back. One more thing, he said. That rifle I demonstrated 6 months ago, the one you all laughed at. What about it? Thesis asked. It was firing. At 600 rounds per minute, our standard military rifle fires at 800 rounds per minute. Our heavy weapons fire at 3,000 rounds per minute. He paused at the door. He laughed at our weakest weapon. He never bothered to ask about our real ones. The last laugh in this galaxy died at 3,000 rounds per minute, Admiral Lee said. We tried to warn you that kinetic weapons were effective. You chose not to listen. After he left, the chamber was silent. The remaining delegates sat in their chairs, thinking about everything that had happened. High Counselor Thesis looked at the empty seats around her. 43 species had once sat in this chamber. Now only 12 remained. The others were gone, destroyed by their own arrogance and the weapons they had dismissed as primitive. Commander Park Yuri's final report was broadcast across the galaxy that night. It was simple and direct. To all surviving civilizations, the galaxy is now under human protection. Kinetic weapons are banned for all species except humanity. Any attempt to build or acquire such weapons will be met with immediate intervention. Trade routes are reopened. Piracy will not be tolerated. Aggression between species will not be permitted. The Galactic Council has voted to accept human leadership in military matters. The mining drill made loud noises as it cut through the dark rock. Hyenwoo Kim wiped sweat from his face and checked the machine's screen. The numbers looked good. They were finding lots of metal ore today. Hey Hyenwoo, called Ji-Hai from the control room. The drill is hitting something strange down there. Come, look at this. Hyenwoo walked over to the big screen. His metal arm made soft clicking sounds as he moved. He lost his real arm in the war 5 years ago, but the robot arm worked just as well. Sometimes it worked better. What do you see? He asked. Ji-Hai pointed at the screen. Look at this shape. It's not rock. It's too smooth, too perfect. The screen showed something round and silver buried deep in the asteroid. It was about the size of a small room. The rock around it looked melted, like something very hot had crashed into it. Could be an old satellite, Hyenwoo said, but something felt wrong. Satellites did not look like this. Should we tell Commander Tommen? Ji-Hai asked. Not yet. Let me go down and look first. Hyenwoo put on his spacesuit and took the elevator down into the mine. The tunnel was dark except for his helmet light. The air smelled like metal and dust. His robot arm felt cold, even through the suit. At the bottom, he could see the silver thing much better. It was not a satellite. The surface had strange patterns on it. Lines that curved like waves. Symbols he had never seen before. This is not human, he said into his radio. What do you mean, not human? Ji-Hai's voice crackled in his ear. I mean someone else made this. Someone not from Earth. Haiyan-Wu found a door in the silver object. It was small and round. When he touched it, the door glowed with soft blue light. Then it opened. Inside was very dark. His light showed a small room with walls covered in the same strange symbols. Everything was broken. Pieces of metal and glass were everywhere. In the corner, something moved. Haiyan-Wu pulled out his laser pistol. Hello, is someone there? A weak voice answered. It did not sound human. The words were soft and musical, like singing. He moved closer with his light. What he saw made him stop breathing. It was a girl. But not a human girl. Her skin looked like it was made of crystal. It was clear in some places and white in others. Her hair was long and silver, like liquid metal. She was very thin and looked very young, maybe 16 years old. She was hurt badly. Dark blue liquid covered her arms and face. Her blood was blue, not red. The crystal girl looked at Haiyan-Wu with big purple eyes. She was afraid. She tried to move away from him but was too weak. Please, she whispered in perfect English. Do not hurt me. Haiyan-Wu put his gun away and held up his hands. I will not hurt you. I want to help. You are human, she said. It was not a question. Yes, my name is Haiyan-Wu. What is your name? Lyra. She tried to sit up, but fell back down. My ship, ... The Korthok attacked us. Everyone is dead. I am the only one left. Haiyan-Wu did not know who the Korthok were, but they sounded dangerous. He knelt down next to Lyra, up close. He could see that her crystal skin was cracked in many places. The blue blood was coming from these cracks. We need to get you to our doctor, he said. No. Lyra grabbed his arm with a surprisingly strong grip. The Korthok will find me. They followed my ship here. If they find me, they will kill everyone on your station. What do they want with you? Lyra's purple eyes filled with tears. The tears were clear like water, not blue like her blood. I know things, important things about their army. They want to attack your people, your colonies. I tried to warn someone, but my ship was too damaged. Haiyan-Wu felt his chest get tight. During the war, he had seen what happened when enemies attacked colonies. Thousands of people died. Men, women, children, all dead because no one warned them in time. How many ships do they have? He asked. Hundreds, maybe thousands. They will be here soon to look for me. Haiyan-Wu made a decision. He put his arms under Lyra and lifted her up. She was very light, like she was made of air instead of crystal. We are going to the medical center. Dr. Soyoung will help you. You do not understand, Lyra said weakly. My people need special things to live. Your medicine will not work on me. Then we will figure something else out. As they rode the elevator up, Lyra's breathing got worse. Her crystal skin was turning darker. Haiyan-Wu could feel her getting colder in his arms. Stay awake, he told her. We are almost there. Why are you helping me? She asked. I am not human. I am your enemy. You are not my enemy, and you are hurt. That is enough. In the medical center, Dr. Soyoung Park looked shocked when she saw Lyra. What in the world is that? She asked. Her name is Lyra. She is hurt badly. Can you help her? Dr. Soyoung put on her gloves and looked at Lyra carefully. I have never seen anything like this. Her body is completely different from humans. I do not know what medicines to use. Lyra's eyes were closing. It is too late, she whispered. I am dying. No, Haiyan-Wu said firmly. You are not dying. Not on my watch. He looked at Dr. Soyoung. What do you need to keep her alive? I need to understand how her body works. But that could take days. She does not have days. Suddenly, alarms started ringing all over the station. Red lights flashed everywhere. Ji-Hai's voice came over the speakers. All crew to emergency stations. Unknown ships approaching. They are not responding to our calls. Lyra's eyes opened wide with fear. They found me. The Korthok are here. Through the medical center window, Haiyan-Wu could see dark ships in space. They were big and covered with weapons. More ships kept appearing. How many people live on this station? Lyra asked weakly. About 200. Haiyan-Wu answered. Tears ran down Lyra's crystal face. They will kill everyone. Just to get to me. Commander Taemin's voice came over the radio. This is Commander Taemin Choi of Mining Station New Busan. State your business. A deep, rough voice answered. We are Korthok warriors. You have something that belongs to us. Give us the Villani spy and we will let you live. I do not know what you are talking about. Taemin replied. Do not lie. Human, we can smell her fear from here. You have 1 hour to bring her to us. If you refuse, we will destroy your station and everyone on it. Haiyan-Wu looked at Lyra. She was so small and weak. Just a scared girl who tried to warn them about danger. I have to go to them, she said sadly. I cannot let innocent people die because of me. No, Haiyan-Wu said. There has to be another way. Dr. Soyoung was working at her computer, reading everything she could find about alien biology. I found something, she said suddenly. Some alien species need specific energy fields to survive, like how plants need sunlight. What kind of energy? Hyan Wu asked. Bioenergy, life force. It has to come from a compatible species. She looked at them both. I do not think humans are compatible. Lyra smiled sadly. You tried to help. That is more than most would do. Outside, the Korthok ships were getting closer. Hyan Wu could see small fighter ships leaving the big ships. They were coming to the station. 30 minutes, the rough voice said over the radio. Bring us to Villani, or everyone dies. Hyan Wu felt angry. During the war, he had seen bullies like this before. People who hurt others just because they were stronger. He had fought them then, and he would fight them. Now, Dr. Soyoung, he said, keep working on a way to help Lyra. I am going to stop those ships. You cannot fight all of them alone, Lyra said. Hyan Wu checked his weapons and put on his armor. His robot arm moved smoothly as he loaded his rifle. Maybe not, but I can try. As he walked toward the door, Lyra called his name. Hyan Wu. Why, are you doing this? He stopped and looked back at her. This strange crystal girl who had fallen from the stars. She was beautiful and brave, and trying to save people she had never met. Because it is the right thing to do, he said simply. The Korthok fighters were almost at the station now. Through the window, Hyan Wu could see soldiers in dark armor getting ready to board. Whatever happened next, he would not let them hurt Lyra. He would protect her, no matter what it cost him. The Korthok soldiers broke through the station's main door with a loud crash. Their armor was black and covered with spikes. They carried big guns that glowed red. They moved like hunters looking for prey. Hyan Wu hid behind a metal wall in the hallway. He could hear their heavy boots getting closer to the medical center. His robot arm held his rifle steady while his real hand shook a little. Find the Villani, said a deep voice. Kill anyone who gets in the way. In the medical center, Dr. Soyoung was still trying to help Lyra. She had connected many machines to the crystal girl, but none of them were working right. Her body temperature is dropping fast, Dr. Soyoung said into her radio. Hyan Wu, I do not think she has much time left. Hyan Wu pressed his radio button. Keep trying, Doctor. I will hold them off. But there were too many Korthok soldiers. Hyan Wu could see at least 20 of them through his scope. His rifle could stop maybe 5 or 6 before they reached the medical center. Commander Taemin's voice came over the speakers. All civilians to the escape pods. This is not a drill. Everyone get to the escape pods now. Hyan Wu heard people running through the halls. Families with children, old people who worked in the mines. All of them were in danger because of him, because he chose to help Lyra. But looking at it now, he would make the same choice again. A Korthok soldier appeared around the corner. Hyan Wu shot him in the chest. The soldier fell down, but 2 more took his place. They were getting closer. Human, one of them shouted. Where is the Villani spy? Hyan Wu did not answer. He shot at them again and moved to a new hiding spot. His robot arm was faster than his real arm. It helped him reload quickly, but the Korthok had better weapons. Their guns could melt through metal walls. Soon, Hyan Wu would have nowhere to hide. In the medical center, Lyra was getting worse. Her crystal skin was turning dark gray. Her breathing was very slow. I am sorry, she whispered to Dr. Soyoung. I brought death to your people. Do not say that, Dr. Soyoung replied. She was working as fast as she could, but nothing helped. Hyan Wu chose to protect you. We all did. Why? I am nothing to you. Dr. Soyoung stopped working for a moment. She looked at Lyra's scared, purple eyes. You are someone who tried to warn us about danger. You risked your life to help strangers. That makes you worth protecting. Outside in the hallway, the Korthok soldiers were almost at the medical center door. Hyan Wu was out of places to hide. His rifle was almost out of bullets. Last chance, human, the Korthok leader called out. Give us the Villani and we will let the others live. Hyan Wu thought about it for just a second. It would be easy to give up. To let them take Lyra and save everyone else. But that was not who he was. In the war, he learned that some things were more important than being safe. Some things were worth fighting for, even if you could not win. Come and take her, he shouted back. The Korthok leader laughed. It was an ugly, mean sound. Stupid human. We will take her anyway. And we will make you watch her die slowly. That made Hyan Wu angry. Very angry. These aliens thought humans were weak. They thought they could scare him into giving up. They were wrong. Hyan Wu jumped out from behind the wall and started shooting. His robot arm moved like lightning. He hit 3 Korthok soldiers before they could react, but there were still 2. Many of them, they surrounded him quickly. One of them hit him in the head with the back of his gun. Hyan Wu fell to the ground. Tie him up, the leader said. He can watch what we do to his alien friend. They dragged Hyan Wu into the medical center. Dr. Soyoung tried to stop them, but a soldier pushed her away. She hit the wall hard and did not get up. The Korthok leader looked at Lyra on the medical bed. She was barely breathing now. Her skin was almost completely gray. So weak, he said with disgust. The mighty Villani princess, dying like a sick animal. Princess, Hyan Wu said, surprised. The leader laughed again. She did not tell you. This little spy is the last of the Villani royal family. When she dies, her whole race will be slaves forever. Lyra opened her eyes and looked at Hyen. Even dying, she was trying to apologize with her expression. You should have told me, Hyen Wu said softly. Would it have changed anything? She whispered. Hyen Wu smiled at her. No, I still would have helped you. The Korthok leader pulled out a strange weapon. It looked like a small ball of green fire. This is a plasma grenade, he said. It will burn her from the inside out. Very painful, very slow. He was about to throw it at Lyra when alarms started ringing again. Commander Taemin's voice came over the speakers. Earth Defense Force ships incoming. All Korthok forces retreat to your ships immediately. The leader looked angry. Earth military. Impossible. They are too far away. Through the window, Hyen Wu could see new ships arriving. They were white and blue, with the Earth flag painted on their sides. Human warships. Looks like you were wrong, Hyen Wu said. The Korthok leader's face turned red with rage. He looked at the plasma grenade in his hand. If I cannot take her alive, she dies. Now. He threw the grenade at Lyra's bed. Time seemed to slow down. Hyen Wu saw the green fireball flying through the air. He saw Lyra's scared face. She was too weak to move. Without thinking, Hyen Wu broke free from the ropes holding his hands. His robot arm was stronger than the Korthok soldiers realized. He jumped forward and threw himself between Lyra and the grenade. The plasma grenade exploded against his back. Pain like nothing he had ever felt before went through his whole body. It felt like his blood was on fire, like his bones were melting. He screamed until his throat was raw, but he did not move away from Lyra. Even as the plasma energy burned through his skin, he kept his body between her and the explosion. The strange thing was, the energy did not just hurt him, it changed him. He could feel something happening to his cells, his muscles, his bones. The plasma energy was mixing with his blood and making something new. Then when the pain finally stopped, Hyen Wu fell to the floor. His back and arms were covered with glowing scars. They looked like lightning frozen in his skin. The scars pulsed. With soft blue light, the Korthok soldiers stared at him in shock. What happened to him? One of them whispered. The leader looked scared for the first time. I do not know. Humans are not supposed to survive plasma grenades. Behind Hyen Wu, Lyra made a soft sound. She was sitting up in the medical bed. Her crystal skin was getting brighter. The gray color was going away. The energy, she said in wonder. I can feel it. He is giving me life energy. Dr. So-young had woken up. She looked at her medical machines in amazement. Her vital signs are getting stronger, she said. Much stronger. How is that possible? Hyen Wu tried to stand up. His legs felt weak, but he could move. The glowing scars on his arms pulsed brighter when he looked at Lyra. I do not know, he said, but if it helps her, then the pain was worth it. The Korthok leader raised his gun. Impossible or not, you both die. Now, but before he could shoot, Earth Defense Force soldiers broke through the door. They wore white armor and carried advanced weapons. Drop your weapons. The human soldiers shouted. A firefight started in the small room. The Korthok soldiers were caught by surprise. Most of them were killed quickly. The leader tried to run, but did not make it to the door. Captain Dong Hyen Yun, the Earth Defense Force leader, looked at Hyen Wu with concern. Are you all right, civilian? You look badly hurt. Hyen Wu looked at his glowing scars. They did not hurt anymore. In fact, he felt stronger than before. Much stronger. I think I am fine, he said. Better than fine. Actually, he looked at Lyra. She was standing up now, looking healthy and strong. Her crystal skin was bright white again, and her purple eyes were full of life. Thank you, she said to him. You saved my life. We saved each other, Hyen Wu replied, but he could feel that something important had changed. The scars were not just marks on his skin. They were a connection to Lyra. He could sense her feelings, her thoughts, and she could sense his. They were bonded now, in a way that neither of them fully understood. The war was far from over. But for the first time since finding Lyra in the crashed ship, Hyen Wu felt hope. Together, they might actually have a chance. Dr. So-young could not believe what her machines were telling her. She checked the readings 3 times, but they stayed the same. This is impossible, she said, looking at Hyen Wu. Your body is producing energy I have never seen before, and it is keeping Lyra alive. Hyen Wu sat on the medical bed while Dr. So-young ran more tests. The glowing scars on his arms and back pulsed with soft blue light. Every time they glowed, Lyra seemed to get stronger. How do you feel? Dr. So-young asked him. Different, Hyen Wu replied. I can feel her emotions, her thoughts, and I think she can feel mine too. Lyra nodded from her bed across the room. It is true, I can sense his feelings. He is worried about me, but also curious about what happened to us. Captain Dong Hyen Yun frowned. This bond you are talking about, is it dangerous? Dr. So-young looked at her computer screen. I am not sure, but I think Hyen Wu's life energy is the only thing keeping Lyra alive. If something happens to him, she dies. Hyen Wu finished. And if she dies, what happens to me? I do not know. But the energy feedback could be very bad for you. Lyra looked sad. I am sorry, I did not want this to happen. You should not have to risk your life for me. I chose to help you, Hyun-woo said firmly. I would choose it again. Commander Taemin came into the medical center. His uniform was torn and dirty from fighting the Korthok soldiers. Captain Yoon, he said, we have a problem. The Korthok ships are not leaving. They are waiting for something. Waiting for what? Captain Yoon asked. More ships. A lot more ships. Our sensors show a huge fleet coming toward us. They will be here in 6 hours. Lyra's face went pale. War General Morvok. He is coming personally. Who is War General Morvok? Hyun-woo asked. The leader of the Korthok invasion force. He commanded the attack on my home world. He killed my family. Lyra's voice was full of pain and anger. He wants me alive because I know all of his battle plans. Captain Yoon sat down heavily. How many ships are we talking about? 50 warships. Maybe more. Each one can destroy a space station like this one. We need to evacuate everyone. Commander Taemin said. Get them to the escape pods. No, Lyra said suddenly. That will not work. Morvok will hunt down every ship. He will kill everyone just to make sure I am dead. Then, what do you suggest? Captain Yoon asked. Lyra looked at Hyun-woo. Through their bond, he could feel her. Making a difficult decision, there is another way. My people had ancient defense systems. Weapons that could stop the Korthok, but they need a Villani to activate them. Where are these weapons? Hyun-woo asked. Hidden on different worlds. My ancestors put them there, in case our homeworld was ever destroyed. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. I am the last one who knows where they are. The last one who can use them. Dr. So-young looked up from her computer. But you cannot survive away from Hyun-woo. His energy field is the only thing keeping you alive. Then we go together, Hyun-woo said simply. Absolutely not. Captain Yoon said. You are both civilians. This is military business now. With respect, Captain Hyun-woo replied, I am the only human who can keep her alive, and she is the only one who can stop the Korthok invasion. We have to work together. Before Captain Yoon could argue, alarms started ringing again. Jahai's voice came over the speakers. Captain Yoon, please come to the control room. We are getting a message from the Korthok fleet. Everyone went to the control room. On the big screen was a Korthok in gold armor. His face was covered with scars, and his eyes were cold and mean. I am War General Morvok, he said, in a deep, threatening voice. You have something that belongs to me. The Villani princess. We do not negotiate with terrorists. Captain Yoon replied. Morvok laughed. Look around you, human. I have 50 ships. You have 3. This is not a negotiation. It is a demand. What do you want? Captain Yoon asked. Give me the princess and her human protector. I have heard interesting things about this bond between them. I want to study it. Hyun-woo felt sick. Study it? How? By cutting you both open. While you are still alive, I want to know how human and Villani energy can mix together. Lyra grabbed Hyun-woo's hand. Her crystal fingers were cold and scared. You have 1 hour, Morvok continued. Then I will destroy your station and everyone on it, including the princess. The screen went black. He is lying, Lyra said. Even if we surrender, he will kill everyone anyway. That is what he did on my world. Captain Yoon looked at his officers. How long until Earth reinforcements arrive? 2 days, Commander Taemin replied. Maybe 3. We do not have 2 days. Hyun-woo stood up. Then we leave now. Lyra and I will go to find these ancient weapons. You evacuate the station. It is too dangerous. Dr. So-young said. We do not know what traveling will do to your bond. You could both die. We will die anyway if we stay here, Hyun-woo replied. At least this way, we have a chance to stop them. Lyra squeezed his hand. The nearest weapon site is on Kepler 4 for 2B. It is a 3-day journey in a fast ship. I can get you there, said a new voice. Everyone turned to see Jihai standing in the doorway. I am the best pilot on this station, and I know the asteroid fields better than anyone. Jihai, no, Commander Taemin said. This is not your fight. Yet, it is. These people saved our station. Now, it is our turn to help them. Captain Yoon thought for a moment. If you are going to do this, you will need protection. I will give you 2 of my best soldiers. Thank you, Hyun-woo said, but we need to leave now. Before Morvok realizes what we are doing, Dr. So-young packed medical supplies for the journey. She also gave Hyun-woo a special device to monitor his energy levels. If the bond gets too weak, you need to rest. She told him. Do not push yourself too hard. I will be careful, Hyun-woo promised. As they prepared to leave, Lyra pulled Hyun-woo aside. I need to tell you something, she said quietly. The ancient weapons are not just tools. They are alive. In a way, they will test us to see if we are worthy. What kind of test? I do not know. Each weapon is different, but they will want to know if our bond is real, if we truly care for each other, or if we are just using each other. Hyun-woo looked at his glowing scars. And if we fail the test, then the weapons will kill us both. Hyun-woo smiled. Well, that is not much different from what we are facing now. You are not afraid. I am terrified, but I would rather die trying to save people than live knowing I did nothing. Lyra smiled back at him. My people have a saying. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is acting in spite of fear. Then I guess we are both very courageous. Jihai's ship was small but fast. It had good shields and weapons for protection. The two Earth soldiers, Bongsu and Kung Ho, loaded their equipment quickly. Ready to go, Jihai announced. As they left the station, Hyanwu watched through the window. He could see the Korthok ships waiting in the distance, dark and threatening, like storm clouds. Will we see our friends again? Lyra asked. I do not know, Hyanwu replied honestly, but I know we will try our best to save them. The ship jumped into hyperspace, heading toward the first ancient weapon. Behind them, War General Morvac was discovering that his prisoners had escaped. The real chase was about to begin, but Hyanwu felt something he had not felt in a long time. Through the bond with Lyra, he could sense her determination and hope. She believed they could win. For the first time since the war ended, Hyanwu believed it too. His scars glowed brighter as they traveled through space, carrying two people who had chosen to trust each other completely. The bond between them was more than just energy. It was faith, courage, and love, and it was going to save the galaxy. 6 months had passed since the Crystal Cave. Hyanwu and Lyra had found 4 more ancient weapons across the galaxy. Each weapon had tested their bond and made them stronger. Now they stood on the bridge of the Earth's Defense Force ship Sol. Hope Admiral Yunji Han was showing them a map of the galaxy. Red dots marked Kortho-controlled systems. There were hundreds of them. The situation is getting worse, Admiral Han said. After you trapped War General Morvac, the Korthok Empire sent their entire invasion fleet. They are attacking human colonies, Vallani refugee camps, and anyone who tries to help you. How many ships? Lyra asked. Her crystal skin was brighter now, and she moved with new confidence. Over 3,000 warships, plus support vessels and troops. It is the largest military force we have ever seen. Hyanwu looked at the map. His scars had grown more complex over the months. They now covered most of his arms and chest in beautiful patterns that looked like ancient Vallani writing. Each weapon they had found added new marks to his skin. We cannot fight them all with just the weapons we have, he said. We need the other 2 ancient weapons, the most powerful ones. Where are they? Admiral Han asked. Lyra touched the crystal pendant around her neck. It was a gift from the heart tree, and it helped her remember the old stories. One is on the Vallani home world, but the Korthok have turned it into their main base. Getting there will be almost impossible, and the other, hidden in the Void Station, a place between dimensions where my ancestors kept their most dangerous weapons. Dr. Soyoung, who had joined them on the ship, looked up from her medical scanner. The bond between you two is incredible now. Your life energies are completely synchronized, but I am worried about what will happen when you try to use all 7 weapons together. What do you mean? Hyanwu asked. Each weapon has increased your power levels, but the human body was not designed to handle this much energy. Even with the Vallani bond, you might not survive using all 7 weapons at once. Admiral Han frowned. Is there no other way to stop the Korthok invasion? Not that we know of, Lyra replied sadly. The 7 weapons together can create a barrier around the entire galaxy, but only if someone is strong enough to control them. All Jihai walked into the meeting room. She had been promoted to commander and now led a squadron of Earth's best pilots. Admiral, she said, we are getting reports from the outer colonies. The Korthok are not just conquering planets anymore. They are destroying them completely. Billions of people are dead. Everyone in the room was quiet. The weight of all those lost lives hung over them like a dark cloud. Then we do not have a choice, Hyanwu said finally. We get the last 2 weapons, and we use them. Even if it kills me, it will not kill just you, Lyra said softly. If you die, I die too. But I agree, we have to try. Admiral Han activated the ship's communication system. All ships, this is Admiral Han. We are going to attempt something that has never been done before. We are going to attack the Korthok home base and steal back the Vallani homeworld. Over the speakers, they could hear the voices of hundreds of ship captains and thousands of crew members. Human voices, but also voices of other alien species who had joined the fight against the Korthok. We know this mission is dangerous. Admiral Han continued. Many of us will not come home, but if we succeed, we will save the galaxy from slavery and death. For Earth, for freedom. For all the innocent people who cannot protect themselves. The response was overwhelming. Every ship in the fleet volunteered for the mission. 3 days later, the combined Earth-alien fleet arrived at the edge of the Vallani system. What they saw was heartbreaking. The beautiful crystal cities that Lyra remembered from her childhood were gone. In their place were ugly metal factories and prison camps. The planet's surface was covered with scars from mining operations. They destroyed everything, Lyra whispered, tears flowing down her crystal cheeks. Hyanwu took her hand. Through their bond, he shared his strength with her. We will make them pay for this, and we will rebuild your world. All ships, attack formation. Admiral Han ordered, "Remember, our goal is to get Hyanwu and Lyra to the ancient weapon vault. Everything else is secondary." The space battle that followed was the largest in galactic history. Thousands of ships fought above the Volani homeworld. Laser cannons lit up the darkness of space like fireworks. Hyanwu and Lyra rode in Jihai's ship, heading for the planet's surface. The ancient weapon was hidden deep underground, beneath what used to be the royal palace. Heavy resistance around the landing zone, Jihai reported. Korthok fighters everywhere. "I can handle them," Hyanwu said. He was wearing special armor that Dr. Soyoung had designed. It let his energy scars glow through the metal, giving him protection while still allowing his powers to work. As their ship descended through the atmosphere, Korthok fighters attacked from all sides. But Hyanwu raised one of the crystal weapons, the Shield of Stars, and created a protective barrier around their ship. They landed in the ruins of Lyra's childhood home. The Crystal Palace was mostly destroyed, but Lyra could still find the secret entrance to the underground vaults. "This way," she said, leading them through broken hallways that had once been filled with beautiful art and music. The vault was protected by ancient security systems that recognized Lyra's royal blood. The doors opened to reveal a weapon. Unlike anything they had seen before, it was a crown made of pure energy. It floated in the air, spinning slowly and humming with power. "The Crown of Worlds," Lyra breathed. "The most powerful weapon my people ever created." "What does it do?" Hyanwu asked. "It controls space and time. In the right hands, it can reshape reality itself." Before they could take the crown, alarms started ringing throughout the vault. Korthok soldiers had found them, but these were not ordinary soldiers. They wore special armor that protected them from energy weapons, and leading them was someone Lyra had hoped never to see again. Where General Morvac walked into the vault, smiling coldly. His armor was new and more advanced than before. "Did you really think a prison dimension could hold me forever?" He laughed. "I am Morvac, the Destroyer. I have conquered 1,000 worlds. How did you escape?" Lyra demanded. "Simple. I made a deal with the Emperor himself. Kill you too, and I get to rule half the galaxy." Morvac raised his new weapon, a sword made of dark energy that seemed to absorb light. "This is the Shadow Blade. It cuts through any defense, destroys any shield. Even your precious bond will not save you." The battle that followed shook the entire planet. Hyanwu and Lyra fought together, using all 5 of the weapons they had collected: the Crystal Sword, the Shield of Stars, the Hammer of Thunder, the Bow of Light, and the Staff of Healing. But Morvac was stronger than before. His new weapon cut through their defenses like they were made of paper. "You cannot win," he taunted as he pressed his attack. "I have the power of the entire Korthok Empire behind me." "Maybe," Hyanwu replied, dodging another strike. "But we have something you will never understand." "And what is that, love?" Hyanwu and Lyra looked at each other and smiled. Through their bond, they made a decision together. They would take the Crown of Worlds, even though it might kill them both. Lyra reached for the floating crown, while Hyanwu held off Morvac. The moment her fingers touched the energy crown, power beyond imagination flowed through their bond. Hyanwu's scars exploded with light. His entire body became a beacon of energy that could be seen from space. Lyra's crystal skin began to glow like a star. "Impossible," Morvac screamed. "No one can control that much power." "You are right," Lyra said calmly. "No one person can control it. But we are not one person. We are 2 hearts beating as one." The Crown of Worlds settled on Lyra's head, but its power flowed through both of them. Together, they reached out with their minds and touched every Korthok ship in the galaxy. "Leave," they said with voices that echoed across space and time. "Leave our galaxy and never return. If you stay, you will face the full power of the ancient weapons." Most of the Korthok ships immediately turned and fled toward their own galaxy. They had never felt power like this before, and it terrified them. But Morvac refused to run. "I will not be defeated by children." He raised his Shadow Blade for one final attack. But as he struck, something unexpected happened. Instead of cutting through their defenses, the Shadow Blade shattered against Hyanwu's glowing scars. The dark energy dissolved like smoke in sunlight. "How?" Morvac gasped. "Love is stronger than hate," Hyanwu said simply. "Hope is stronger than fear, and together, we are stronger than anything you can bring against us." Morvac fell to his knees. Defeated, "This cannot be happening. I am the strongest warrior in the galaxy." "You were," Lyra said gently, "but you forgot that true strength comes from protecting others, not hurting them." Instead of killing Morvac, they used the Crown of Worlds to send him far away, to a place where he could learn to be better. With 6 ancient weapons now in their possession, Hyanwu and Lyra stood together in the ruins of the Crystal Palace. Around them, the Volani homeworld was already beginning to heal. Plants were growing again, and the crystal cities were rebuilding themselves. "One more weapon to find," Hyanwu said. "The most dangerous one," Lyra replied. "Are you ready?" Hyanwu looked at his glowing scars, now more beautiful and complex than ever. The void station existed between dimensions, floating in a space that was neither light nor dark, neither hot nor cold. It was a place where the laws of physics worked differently, where time moved in circles instead of straight lines. Hyanwu and Lyra's ship approached the station slowly. Even with all their power, this place made them feel small and uncertain. Are you sure the seventh weapon is here? Ji-hai asked nervously. She had insisted on piloting them to the final destination, even though everyone knew how dangerous it would be. The ancient records are clear, Lyra replied. The heart of creation is hidden in the center of the void station. It is the most powerful weapon ever made by any species. Dr. Soyoung checked her medical scanners one more time. Your energy levels are off the charts. Both of you. I am not sure what will happen when you try to use 7 ancient weapons at once. We will find out together, Hyanwu said, squeezing Lyra's crystal hand. The station was enormous, bigger than most planets. Its walls were made of a metal that seemed to shift and change color as they watched. Strange symbols moved across its surface like living things. There, Lyra pointed to a docking bay. The royal entrance only members of my family can open. When their ship docked, the station's atmosphere adjusted automatically to support both human and Vellani life. The air tasted old, like it had been waiting for thousands of years. Stay close, Hyanwu warned as they walked through the station's corridors. This place feels alive. He was right. The walls pulsed like a heartbeat, and whispers in ancient languages echoed from empty rooms. Sometimes they saw shadows moving, but when they looked directly, nothing was there. The station is testing us, Lyra explained. It wants to know if we are worthy of the heart of creation. They walked for what felt like hours through endless hallways. Each room they passed showed them visions of the past, the Vellani at the height of their civilization, building wonders across the galaxy. Finally, they reached the center of the station. It was a vast chamber with walls made of pure crystal. In the middle, floating above a pedestal, was the seventh weapon. The heart of creation looked like a sphere of liquid starlight. It was beautiful beyond description, containing all the colors that ever existed and some that had never been seen before, but guarding it was something unexpected. Another test? Ji-hai asked. No, said a familiar voice. A choice. They turned to see War General Morvac standing behind them, but he looked different, younger, sadder, more human. Somehow, how are you here? Hyanwu demanded, raising his crystal sword. I am not really here, Morvac replied. This is just an echo of my consciousness, stored in the station's memory banks. I came here once, long ago, when I was still searching for power instead of wisdom. You tried to take the heart of creation, Lyra asked. Yes, and I failed the test. The weapon showed me what I could become, either a destroyer or a protector. I chose destruction, and it cast me out. Morvac looked at the floating sphere with regret in his eyes. But you too. You chose differently from the beginning. You chose to protect each other, even when it cost you everything. The heart of creation began to glow brighter, responding to their presence. The final test is simple, Morvac's echo continued. You can take the weapon and use it to save the galaxy. But doing so will burn out your life forces completely. You will die the moment you activate it. Or, Hyanwu asked, or you can leave it here and live long, happy lives together. The 6 weapons you already have are powerful enough to keep the Korthok away for 1,000 years. Your children and their children will be safe. Lyra and Hyanwu looked at each other. Through their bond, they could feel each other's thoughts and emotions perfectly. They both wanted to live. They wanted to see the Vellani homeworld rebuilt. They wanted to explore the galaxy together, to have a family, to grow old holding hands. But they also knew the truth. The Korthok Empire was huge. Eventually, they would return with new weapons and new armies. Without the heart of creation, the galaxy would never be truly safe. There has to be another way, Dr. Soyoung said desperately. Some way to use the weapon without dying. The echo of Morvac shook his head. The heart of creation requires a perfect sacrifice. Only by giving up everything can you gain the power to save everyone. Then we give up everything, Lyra said simply. Lyra, no, Ji-hai cried, you have your whole lives ahead of you, and we will spend those lives saving others. Hyanwu replied, just like we always have. He walked toward the heart of creation. As he got closer, his scars began to glow so brightly that everyone had to shield their eyes. Wait, Lyra said, grabbing his arm. If we are going to do this, we do it together, as equals. They approached the weapon side by side. When they reached the pedestal, the heart of creation descended slowly until it hovered between their outstretched hands. Are you ready? Lyra asked. I have been ready since the day I found you in that crashed ship, Hyanwu replied. And I have been ready since the day you chose to save me instead of saving yourself. They brought their hands together around the heart of creation. The moment they touched it, power beyond imagination flowed through them. Not just through their bond, but through every cell in their bodies. They became living conduits for the creative force of the universe itself. Hyanwu's scars exploded with light so bright it could be seen in other dimensions. Lyra's crystal skin became transparent, showing the energy flowing through her like liquid starlight. Together, they reached out with their minds and touched every corner of the galaxy. They could see every planet, every star, every living thing. They could feel the fear of people hiding from Korthok raids, the hope of children dreaming of better tomorrows, the love of families holding each other close. Now, they said with voices that echoed across space and time, the heart of creation activated a wave of pure creative energy spread out from the void station at the speed of thought. It swept across the galaxy like a gentle wind, touching every world, every ship, every person. Where the energy passed, amazing things happened. Broken planets healed themselves. Dead stars came back to life. Species that had been enemies for centuries suddenly understood each other perfectly. Empire, which had spread fear and destruction across half the galaxy, simply, stopped, not destroyed, but transformed. Their weapons became tools for building instead of destroying. Their armies became rescue workers and teachers. The energy wave reached the edge of the galaxy and kept going, creating an invisible barrier that would protect all life within it, forever. But the cost was terrible. Hyan Wu and Lyra felt their life forces burning away like candles in a hurricane. They had maybe seconds left before their bodies gave out completely. Do you regret it? Lyra asked, her voice growing weaker. Never, Hyan Wu replied. We saved everyone, we gave them peace, and we did it together. They smiled at each other one last time. Through their bond, they shared their final thoughts, not of sadness or fear, but of joy. Joy that they had found each other. Joy that they had made a difference. Joy that their love had been strong enough to save the galaxy. The heart of creation pulsed one final time, and then ... silence. Ji-Hai and Dr. So-Young rushed forward, expecting to find their friends dead. But what they found was impossible. Hyan Wu and Lyra were still there, still alive, still holding hands. But they had changed. Hyan Wu's scars no longer just glowed, they were made of pure starlight, beautiful patterns that moved like living art across his skin. Lyra's crystal body had become perfectly transparent, showing the energy of creation flowing through her like a river of light. How? Dr. So-Young gasped, checking her medical scanners. You should be dead. The echo of more smiled for the first time in 1,000 years. The heart of creation does not destroy, he explained. It transforms. They gave up their mortal lives, but they gained something much greater. What? Ji-Hai asked. Immortality. Purpose. The power to protect the galaxy forever. Hyan Wu and Lyra opened their eyes. They looked the same, but also completely different. More beautiful, more peaceful, more complete. We are still us, Lyra said wonderingly, but also more than us. The weapon merged with our bond, Hyan Wu explained. We are part of the galaxy now. We can feel every living thing, protect every innocent person. They looked at their friends with eyes full of love and gratitude. You do not have to worry about us anymore, Lyra said. We will watch over all of you, always, and when new threats come, we will be ready. Hyan Wu added, over the following months, the galaxy transformed completely. The Korthok became peaceful traders and explorers. The Vellani homeworld was rebuilt more beautifully than ever. Human colonies expanded across the stars, no longer afraid of attack, and everywhere people looked up at the night sky, they could sometimes see two figures made of starlight, flying hand in hand between the stars, protecting, watching, loving. Had thrown himself in front of a plasma grenade to save a dying alien girl. The scars from that explosion had become his greatest reward, not just the marks on his skin, but the bond of love that had grown from that moment of selfless courage. Now those scars were made of starlight itself, and his love with Lyra had become strong enough to protect an entire galaxy. On the rebuilt Crystal City, on the Vellani homeworld, there stood a statue of two figures holding hands. One human, one Vellani.